Look at my cars. Look at my house. Look where I'm going on vacation. Look what I'm wearing. Look how much money I wasted on watches. Or going into a Rolex store, then not buying a knockoff and saying, here's a Rolex I bought. And you didn't buy a real Rolex. And by the way, Rolex sucks. Sorry for hurt your feelings, but they are garbage. Patek Philippe. That's a watch. But I digress. When you come as a student, you fall sometimes into a trap of ever learning but never coming to your own model. And you're much like my daughter. My daughter, God bless her, she is a constant drain from my bank account. And I understand that you have to take care of your kids. I understand that. Okay. But she's coming up on 30 years old, and she's the oldest of all my children. She's not biologically mine, but she has, I'm convinced, this fear of failing what she set out to do. And to combat that, she has become, and there's a point in this, so don't lose sight or get bored by this, because this pertains to you. But because she's afraid to lose and fail, the things that she went to college for originally, she no longer pursued. It was always a constant changing in her major. So the only thing she's really obtained in all the years since high school is new classes and credits that are no longer going towards her original goal, which was to be a teacher. That's what she wanted to do. And we were all behind her, like, hey, it's great, you do it. And when she got into college, against my advice, I told her not to do it. And some of the things that I saw in her as a child and an early teen, I was correct in. She's very indecisive, and she doesn't want to fail. Well, that's kind of like everybody when you're a teenager. But many of you probably still have those traits right now as a fledgling student in learning how to trade. And what will happen is what she's found herself in. She's constantly learning something new. Now, from her perspective, if you listen to her, she'll say, I'm doing this because I feel like this is where I should go. I should do this. But it's always changing. Every 3 months, she's changing course and changing direction. Now, imagine if you got on a cruise ship and you're supposed to go from the coast of California to Hawaii, like I'm hoping to do in the spring of next year. But there's always this change of course, and you never really get there. You're going to be happy about that? No. You wanted to get to a specific destination, and our expectations and her as parents, we're scratching our head thinking, like, what the hell's going on here? Like, you've been in college, and you haven't even got your 4-year degree yet. You got an associate's, but then you keep changing your major. And this is my opinion, and I've only made this known to you now at this time, and my wife knows about it, but I wouldn't sit down with her and tell her this, because the times I tried to do it, she clammed up and got mad and resentful towards me, and I just don't want to be a discouragement to her. So it's her life, let her live it like she wants to live it. But from an outside perspective, and also being her father, I'm thinking that she is providing a perfect excuse why she never has to experience potential failure. I think she knows in her heart of hearts she's not equipped to be a teacher. I don't believe she is. She doesn't want children. So how can you possibly be a good teacher if you are opposed to having children? Like, she will never have children. We will never be grandparents because of her. So now how does that relate to you as a trader? And what does that even mean to you? Why you listen to this? When you come to me and you see all those videos and always something new coming from ICT, the people that don't like me or have a competitive mindset, or they have something they're selling themselves. See, I'm constantly giving out fresh new ideas. They have one trick pony stuff, usually retail garbage. Okay. And this is the stuff, when I start talking like this, it gets them all pissed off. And they want to make videos about me, talk about me, do tweets, take things, and they go on podcasts and interviews and they talk about me. I'm not talking about these yahoos, these losers. Okay. But they all have my name in their mouth. They're only doing that because I'm crushing them. I'm literally beating the fuck out of their sales. Because when people come here, they realize, why am I wasting my money buying on this stuff? And why am I worried about trying to get their opinion when this guy over here is calling it before it happens, and he's doing it on Twitter right there before, here it is. It's on YouTube. He's doing it in videos. He's saying this is exactly where it's going to go. It's going. Who are you going to spend money on when you see somebody doing that and then teaches you how to do that? Of course they're going to be mad. They're going to hate me. They're going to hate my ass. They're going to make up shit that ain't even true about me because they want you to not spend the time here. Because if you spend time with me, you're going to learn how to do this. But some of you will get caught up in this trap of constantly learning because you're afraid to sit down with one model, follow the rules, stick to that process, and let it yield whatever experience is intended for you. And then you have a baseline. That's why I could literally give out a model every single day. And some of you want me to do that. But the only thing it's going to do is like a dog in a meat market. You ain't going to know what to do. You're going to run around and you just chase everything. Instead of simply sitting down and saying, you know what? I'll just have a filet. Thank you. And I've done that with the 2022 model. I've done that just recently with the silver bullet model. You don't have to have anything. I have lots more coming, but you don't have to have anything else. The optimal trade entry was enough. OTE pattern, the flagship that was on my YouTube channel. That's enough. The 2022 model, that's enough. You can use it in every session. London, New York, PM session in New York. You can use it in London close. You can trade it in forex. You can trade it in futures. You can trade it in crypto. You can trade it in whatever the fuck you want to trade it in. It works. There's no excuse. You have zero excuse not to have some baseline by now. You should have some kind of experience to be able to say, you know what? This shit works. And I have to work on refining it, but I know it works because I've seen it in back testing, looking at where it has done this in the past. I tell you what time to look for these things to form. That way you're not just going around and looking at charts blindly. Go right to these specific times of the day. That's where it's going to form. For those people that go back in their old data and their old charts and they study that, they see it, they don't need me to do 50 examples of that. They don't need to see me do it live 50 times a week. They're sold on the idea. Okay, there's something here. It merits more investigation because I see the evidence of this thing occurring. It's not contrived. It's not conjectured. It's not made up. It's not fabricated. It's really happening every day. And once you see that, you don't need to have anybody else to cheerlead for you. You know, okay, there's something here. I'm going to mine that. So I give you just a few models so that way you go in and you now start working on the skill sets that are required. Not veering off course, hopping from one PD array, one approach, fair value gap, inversion value gap, breakers, market maker models, buy, sell. There's 1,000 things out there that I teach. Every individual one of them is a model. Every single one of them is an individual model. But I give you, this is the best way to learn. I'm allowing you to pick your weapon. I've opened my arsenal doors. So here it is. Look what I have here. Pick your weapon. But nothing changes when it comes to time. Time of day, these things occur at specific times, certain days of the week, certain weeks of the month, certain month of the year. I'm allowing you to bring your personality, your personal influence, because you're the problem, and you're the last puzzle piece. See, some of you are sitting around here, you're writing diligent notes, you're doing this, you're doing that, and that's wonderful. But you're all waiting for that last penny to drop, the last ICT puzzle piece, and then it's all going to come together. It's all going to be crystal clear once he tells me this one PD, the 81 PD arrays, the 81 final last one. That's it. That's That's it. That's the holy grail. No, it's not. If you walked over to your mirror right now, if you're driving, look in your rearview mirror, adjust it, look at yourself real quick. Not too long, you're driving. That's the final puzzle piece. And it's always been you. You're the reason why you succeed, and you're the reason why you haven't succeeded yet. And ultimately, you and you alone are the only reason why you're going to fail. That's not me talking down to you. That's me telling you the way it is. That's just the way it is. If you don't have a baseline, which is what the 2022 model will give you, that silver bullet and the optimal trade entry. If you don't have a baseline experience going through the motions of, okay, this is the time of day that markets should do these specific things. Well, what's that mean? London creates usually the high or low of the day. New York is usually a continuation, unless London was a consolidation, didn't do much. Then the reversal or higher low of the day will form in New York. Oh, there you go. There's one of those little things that I always tuck in when people are usually getting tired and bored. They turn the video off and turn the presentation off. They don't get that. But that's just the way it works. London close or the end of the AM session is usually, for forex, the higher low of the day, the opposing higher low of the day. That's why I'm not a fan of trading forex past 1 o'clock in New York local time. Does that mean no trading after that? No, it just means focus on index futures. But like my daughter, she is a professional student because she feels safe as a professional student. Are you a professional ICT student? Because if you are, you're not going to succeed. I'll say it again. Are you coming to me for a constant dose of something new, but have done nothing with what I've already given you? Then you're a professional student, and they don't pay professional students. You always had to pay out of pocket. Are you a professional procrastinator? Because that's the equivalent. You keep procrastinating. You have to put the sleeves up. You have to sit down, turn off all the distractions, social media, sports, weekend living, all that stuff. There's plenty of time to do that later, and you can be affording it better than right now. You don't have time for that. You can't afford it. You have to be putting all your effort and attention into this, because what's coming, folks, is a shitstorm that nobody's ever seen before. It's going to ramp up real fast. And things that you've grown accustomed to, the things that are always going to be like this, it won't be. And things are going to get really expensive, harder to get. So you want to be able to have a secondary income, a third income, a means of mitigating any potential loss of job. I saw students tweeting that they just lost their job. They were either made redundant or just, the company said that, you're done. Imagine that with children and a mortgage right now, with a shrinking job market. That's scary. I'm not too well off to not understand and respect the fact that if I was in that situation, I would be scared. And I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, I don't know how average people are affording things right now. Like, it's expensive. We spent like $3,700 just for 3 days down in Clearwater. We stayed at the Hyatt Regency. And, you know, was it worth all that? No. She had fun. I mean, I preferred Panama City Beach. They have better beaches. But the amount of money I spent, like I could have paid for a whole year's worth of groceries, non-perishable food. And driving back, I told her, I said, it feels like a waste. Like it felt like it was a complete waste being there. I wish I wouldn't have spent as much time there. And for the folks in Florida, I just dropped this in here too, a little bit of tinfoil. I told you last year that, and for the folks who've been around me longer, um, you're going to see stuff taken off in Florida and Texas because they're going to punish those states. They don't want people going down there. Everybody thought we're going to run away from all the things that's going on. We're going to go down to Texas. We're going to go down to Florida. And we're going to escape all those demonic demons that we call Democrats. You just ran right into the fire, jumped out of the frying pan, right into fire. So, where's all your construction workers right now in Florida? Look at those housing communities that are being developed. Who's putting them together right now? Probably real quiet in there right now, isn't it? Disney's leaving. All that stuff. Look what's happening in Texas. You couldn't give me a house down there. No way. It could be extravagant. I wouldn't live there. And it's going to get worse down there. And they're going to allow more of it. The people that are in power are placed there. Even the ones you think you can trust. They're all part of it. And it's going to get worse. And because I'm vocalizing my thoughts about this stuff, this is why it doesn't appear on my YouTube channel. Because they would take the channel down. I do it here. And I know people take it and they put it up on their YouTube channel. But understand, these are the parts. These parts. You'll probably lose your monetization because you're monetizing these Twitter spaces. And I never said you couldn't do it. I don't care that you're doing it. I don't care. I don't care. And there's a number of you doing it. But just be mindful because of the things I'm talking about. When I talk about like this, you could possibly lose the monetization because I have friends that run channels that are outside the scope of trading. So they're not they're not traders. There's people that do certain things on YouTube and they talked about this stuff and they lost their channel. And that's the reason why I don't do the tinfoil hat discussions on my YouTube channel. It's not the purpose of that channel to do that. But over here, I don't care if they turn off Twitter. I don't care if they close this account. I don't care if they take my SoundCloud down. I don't care. But if I lose the voice I have in the trading community by having this type of discussion in my YouTube videos or a place in one of those videos, that would get under my skin. That would, because I put a lot of work and effort and time into those videos, and I did it with the kindness of my heart to say, look, this is my gift to the community as a trader, a mentor, a human. I want it to be received and appreciated. And that's the reason why I don't do those discussions over there because, trust me when I tell you, okay, there are lots of channels out there that's going to get wasted here soon, real soon. The ministry of truth is going to be established here, just like it is in other places. And don't take my word for it. Just sit back and watch how it happens. And that's going to cause stress and anxiety. The fact that things are going to be so hard to afford is going to be stress and anxiety for everyone. I got lots of money. I'm still bitching about how much things cost because it's astronomical right now. It's ridiculous what things are costing. If you don't have a sound baseline and a model that you have grown to trust, how do you think you're going to be able to trade when it gets hard? What have you done in the last 6 weeks? I've been on vacation because I knew the market wasn't going to perform for me. This is exactly what I teach my students. And charter members, you're listening. Did I not talk about this in our daily discussions? If it ain't right, leave it alone. Do something else. Unplug. So I did. I took myself away because invariably, if I stay on social media, I'll see somebody say something. It'll spark my engines. See someone talk about this is the best way to trade, and it's nonsense. And feel like I have to say something in regards to that. And I'll go in doing something that I'm teaching the opposite. So, because I've told you that risks were high, the market was likely to consolidate, sit back and wait.